have to be passionate. You have to do it, and you have to make the mistakes to be successful.
Yeah.
So I don't regret it. I mean, we'll be in that child. We'll be in that, we was like trying to pull customers in. Sometimes didn't have the rent money, dodging the people who was old. And I'm like, oh, we got to wait till we get a couple of sales. No, Marlo's not in right now. She'll call you back.
I love it.
And at the time, we had some great customers, though.
Yay.
I had Josh Smith's wife, Alex. She shot with me. He was a basketball player here. Toya Wright. She was a big-time customer. Her and Reggie. Reggie was a little old baby then. Think about this. This was years ago.
Yes.
Eva, at the time, who was on our show. Eva was a client of mine. Jazzy Faye would always come in and buy our candles. So we had amazing things. But to be honest, we didn't know what we were doing.
But girl, you made it work.
But I made it work. I did.
Ghetto. Good idea. Now we buying merch.
That's ghetto.
Payment miss.
Ooh, the ghetto.
Say she quit.
Ooh, the ghetto.
Late on your rent.
Rent is ghetto.
New event.
Ooh, the ghetto.
Invoice in.
That ain't ghetto.
Money spin.
Oh, that's ghetto. Hold on. It's kind of ghetto being a CEO.
Welcome back to another episode of the Ghetto CEO Podcast, where we talk about all things giving ghetto. Okay? Because listen, being a CEO, it's very ghetto. And you look on Instagram, they're talking about the glitz, the glamours, the G-Wagons and all the things, but ain't nobody talking about the grief, the heartbreak, the heartache and all the things, right? But today, I got a very special guest, and I cannot wait till you hear from this young lady. But before I do that, I need you guys to like, comment, and subscribe to this podcast. Leave a review. Let us know that you are loving this so we can keep bringing you different guests. And make sure you shop your Ghetto CEO merch. But listen, I'm talking about merch, but we got the fashionista in the house today, okay? She is fashion, all right? But today we have Miss Marlo Hampton. Welcome to the couch.
Well, the couch is amazing. I'm about to go to sleep on the couch.
Listen, okay, now listen, you came in regular Marlo fashion with your own blanket, the Hermes blanket.
Oh, stop it. And I was going to bring the orange one I should have to match your top.
Yes, I love it. Well, you don't need an introduction, but the people that's been under a rock, let them know who you are.
Well, my name is Marlo Hampton. A lot of you all would know me from Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm just fabulous. I'm here. I'm authentic. I'm from St. Petersburg, Florida. I've been here in Georgia now about 19 years. And what you see is what you get. Yes. A lover of fashion.
I love it. I'm super excited to have this conversation today because I don't think a lot of people get to hear about Marlo, the entrepreneur. That we hear about Marlo, the girl on the Real Housewives
of Atlanta,
you know what I'm
the
saying?
Drama, the past, the negativity, and the fashion.
Yes. So tell them about your business. I know you got a couple of them.
I do.
Okay, so let's dive into that story.
Okay, so you want to get right into business.
Yes.
So, you know what? I'm going to just take you down memory lane.
Okay.
Just, a lot of people don't know how much of a hustler I am.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like how you say, CEO, ghetto, I just believe everyone should have a hustle. Mm-hmm. No matter what. It ain't just the streets. It's just, you have to have that passion. You have to get up and make things happen. And I feel that coming from such humble beginnings, you know, my mom on drugs and food stamps and all that stuff, I had to learn how to work and what to do to make money. I would sell freeze cups, make me some Kool-Aid and sell them in the neighborhood. So it's like I always just had that hustle mentality. Right. So when I left St. Petersburg, Florida, I came to Atlanta. And Atlanta was faster than St. Pete. I got here, I'm like, oh my God, it's celebrities. And what really freaked me out, a lot of people went to strip clubs here. That was it. So the one girl I met, she was like, you want to go to, I'm like, oh Lord, what's she trying to get me? I didn't know what. You know, I'm from this, 19, 20 years ago. And I'm like, we didn't go to the strip clubs back home. If you went to the strip clubs back home, you went with a guy. And that was really rare, you know. So long story short, I came here. I'm working at Harold Pinner. Okay. I was working at Harold Pinner on Candler Road. Okay. When I first came here, the manager, Wendy Hall from Harold Pinner in Tampa, got me to be able to transfer, and then she ended up being the manager. So I was over there at Harold Pinner at, what is the name of that mall? South DeKalb Mall or Candler Road? Is it South DeKalb?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
Greenbrier, maybe?
Yeah, it's over, not Greenbrier, but I want to say it was South DeKalb.
Okay.
So I was working over there at Harold Pinner. And I had fun. It was nice. And it was ghetto, you know, like where I'm from in St. Pete. And I'm like, you know what? I want something better. Right. I said, I want more. I just left the hood. I got in trouble in the hood. I just know Atlanta has to have a better side. Yeah. So I came over and I lived over off of Roswell Road.
Okay.
And I went to Lenox Mall.
Yes.
And I said, oh, this is it.
this is
it. I need to change. This is the change I need.
Yes.
So I'm like, ooh, how am I going to get over here at this Lenox Mall? But, think about it. I just moved here, got hired there. I had to wait until I can get over. I'm like, oh, this is just feel rich and glamorous. I need to be over here.
That was the vibe.
It was the vibe. Do you hear me? So I ended up, at the time when I was at Harold Penner, I'm going to just go in order. When I was at Harold Penner, I went and visited there. That was always on my mind to get to Lenox.
Okay.
But I ended up just going to FedEx, go somewhere, and I printed up some little cards, red cards that said, if your style isn't becoming to you, you should be coming to me. I did that. I went. I heard so much still about the strip clubs. So I went and I got my license over off Beaufort to become a bartender. So I was bartending, by waitress first at Goosebumps. I don't know if you know that. That was 20 years ago. Goosebumps, and it was popping celebrities. I'm like, wow, we didn't have all that in St. Pete. Yeah. The celebrities, the basketball players would come in, and one guy would tip me every week. He would give me like $200. He said, because I want to make sure you don't start dancing. He said, you're just such a nice girl. Then another guy would tip me like $100 every week because he said he would bet his homeboy that I was going to be dancing. Yeah. So he said, everybody come in here and say they a waitress and they gonna bartend. Then next thing you know, they're on the stage. But I'm like, if I could dance, I might have would have, but I got 2 left feet. So I'm like, I can stay down here. I'm just being very fashion forward as a bartender and a waitress. And when I tell you, girl, I would go in there with my bag. I'd go in the back room with the girls, put on my diamond bow tie. I would be the waitress or bartender that was fabulous. Yes, all my bar can openers and bar openers was blinged out. It was just always to where you were going to remember me. And to me, that was a hustle too. I didn't just go in and say, oh, I'm just going to bartend. Right. Oh, I'm just going to waitress. No, you're going to remember this waitress. You're going to remember this bartender. Right. So then from there, I finally got a job over at Lenox. I was at R&B. Okay. R&B at Lenox Mall. I was so excited. Oh, girl, life had changed. I could dress up then, different. I was speaking a little better and I just felt rich, girl, over there. But it was amazing because it was around a different caliber of people. That's what it was. So it made me want more and be like, wow, I can be in this surroundings. I can do this. What do you do to shop here? How can you shop here and afford this? And the people I met, it just made me want more to thrive. So one habit I have, I can shop. I can spend a lot of money. Buy a lot of clothes and stuff that I don't need, and working there, getting a discount just made it even worse. It was next level. Yeah. So then working in the mall for a while, I talked to one of my girlfriends. I said, we spent a lot of money shopping because she was one of my big customers and I worked on commission. We used to have a little book. And this book, I write down your name. I come in, I remember you, and I call you when new things come in and I send you pictures. So I said, Heather, we need to open a store. I said, we need our own store. We're just giving these people all our money. Yeah. We could be buying our own stuff and buying our own clothes and selling it. So I don't know what the hell I'm doing now. Keep in mind, I ain't never had my own business. I got to hustle and I want to work. And I printed up these cards, and Young Jock and Jazzy Faye were some of my first customers. Because at Young Jock wife, I used to, Young Jock really was my first because I worked at R&B and BB at Lenox. Okay. And at the time, think about this was 19, 20 years ago, Young Jock had a lot of different groups. Right. And he came in there, he was like, I like your style. I want you to dress my group. So I would just be shopping for him whenever they called. I met his wife at the time, Alex, and we connected, and I always do personal shopping for them. Yay. Met Jazzy Faye back then. He would come in and he always supported anything I was doing and introduced me to people to personally shop for them as well. Yay. So it was just like, yes, I'm in it was just a great energy back then. Atlanta was different. I'm in the mix. I'm doing my thing. It was so much going on. Yes. So now to get back on topic, when I tell my girlfriend we have to open our own business. So that weekend, I'm like, girl, we're going to get us a store. Go in Lenox, because I worked. I'm like, we're going to get us a store right here in Lenox. I ain't thinking about how much it costs. I don't know nothing. I don't know what the hell we're going to buy the clothes from. Yes. I just know I can be an R&B or a BB too. Yes. So I go there, child, just as dipped. I'm looking like, you two little black girls. No, ma'am, no, you can't afford it. Anyway, we never got a call back. Yeah. So I'm like, Heather, we're not giving up. We're not giving up. We're going to go over to Perimeter. I said, that's another mall they got here. So we go over to Perimeter. Met with the lady. I can't think of her name, but she met with us. We had dressed up with our little outfits on. Probably had about a good $6,000 to our name, trying to go over to a mall and get a brick and mortar.
Yeah.
So we over there. The lady said, well, you know, you can just, what about this little kiosk? You remember they had little kiosks and all? Do they still have them?
Yep.
They still do the kiosks. I'm like, Lord, I did say I want my own business, but I really don't want to be out here in this kiosk all day. I don't want to be out here, Lord, but if this is where you said I got to start from. Yeah. So the lady just showing us that you can be here, because she ain't even showing us a brick and mortar, like a space.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's like, they can't afford. I'm like, well, ma'am, do you have a storefront, like one of your locations? She's like, yeah, but they're really expensive. I'm like, okay, that's no problem. Just, you know, can I see what you have available? So the lady shows us a space right next to Nordstrom's, the cafe. I'm like, okay, and how much is it? And she tells me how much it is. And Heather looked like, girl, what the hell is you doing? You know we can. I'm like, we'll take it. This is what we're going to do. We'll take this.
Period.
Girl, I love fashion.
Yeah,
I'm passionate about fashion.
Yes.
It has to work.
It gotta work. It gotta work.
I mean, I don't know about I got the decorator or anything about that. I need a cash register. Yes. I was being ghetto at the time, but I was passionate about what
it gotta work or it gotta work.
Long story short, it came together. We got it decorated. I didn't even know how the heck we was going to get clothes in there. We got it decorated. So that was good. I'm good on that. I'm good on decorating stuff.
Okay, walk by faith. Okay.
Walk by faith, baby.
Yes.
So then, at the time, Bow Wow mom, Teresa,
she
had a boutique at Atlantic Station.
Okay.
And I was the only other Black woman I knew at the time that had a boutique. And she saw what I was doing. It was like, congratulations. She would come by and visit. But the key was getting merchandise in where the store was full. So we would call different vendors. And I'm like, I was like, I like to place orders. She's like, yeah, well, you need to do a size run. I'm like, what the hell is a size run? You got to do everything. Oh, I just can't get two pair of 8s and 2 this. And like, no, ma'am, you got to do from 0 to 12. Yes. So it was a learning experience. Yes. And it's something I still recommend do. Just do it, because you have to be passionate. You have to do it, and you have to make the mistakes to be successful. Yeah. So I don't regret it. I mean, we'll be in that child. We'll be in that, we was like trying to pull customers in. Sometimes didn't have the rent money, dodging the people who was old. And I'm like, oh, we got to wait till we get a couple of sales. No, Marlo's not in right now. She'll call you back.
I love it.
And at the time, we had some great customers, though. Yay. I had Josh Smith's wife, Alex. She shot with me. He was a basketball player here. Toya Wright. She was a big-time customer. Her and Reginae. Reginae was a little old baby then. Think about this. This was years ago. Eva, at the time, who was on our show. Eva was a client of mine. Jazzy Faye would always come in and buy our candles. So we had amazing things. But to be honest, we didn't know what we were doing.
But you made it work.
But I made it work. I did. And as time went by and money improved, then I learned things. I took classes and I got on a flight and I went to New York to trade shows and I got familiar with people. And at the time, you had to do net 30s. We had to pay cash. Right. Because we didn't have no Duns and Bradstreet number and no business credit. But once we did get that, we got that. And you form those relationships with the vendors and you pay your bills on time. So that's how Marlo really got started in Atlanta. So while I'm there, one day, Princess, I don't know if you've ever heard of Princess. She was like a producer about Real Housewives of Atlanta original. So she walked in the store one day and she's like, oh, so you're the fabulous Marlo out here. So, oh yeah, I've been that girl. Yeah. Not Housewives. Way before Housewives. I've been that girl. Okay. Been her. So I was in every elite circle you wanted to be in, all the Jezebel magazines. I have a stack. One day I said I was just going to go through them and post them and show these girls like, girl, I've been here. I'm her still. We're both her. Yes. So she comes in and she's like, so you're the Marlo. I've heard so much about the fabulous Marlo, the this and that. I'm like, oh, I'm her. Yes. So that's how I got involved with Real Housewives of Atlanta.
I love that. And I think, I love that you're telling your story, because if you watch the show, a lot of people think of Candy as the only business owner, right?
Oh, yeah, and,
they do. She got the restaurants and this and that, but I'm like, hold on. Marlo said, I've been on there for 10 years and I've been making money even when I had a billionaire boyfriend.
Okay, still worked. Still worked and always gonna work.
Because she had to have a job, right?
I had to have a job. And it was called The Red Carpet. Yes. And Joe Greco I love Joe. When I was in Tampa, I also worked at Nordstrom's too.
Okay.
And Joe Greco was my manager at the time when I was in college. Mm-hmm. So he was now the store manager of that Nordstrom's by Perimeter. And he came down, he's like, Marlo Hampton, I always knew you'll do something with fashion. So it's important also how you treat people and how you lead people. Because I mean, this man would come down, sell us mannequins for red carpet anytime they had stuff at Nordstrom. So Joe, if you're anywhere watching, thank you so much for those college days.
Listen, and I love that. I think one thing that people can take from this interview is that you stuck with what you knew. Like, fashion is in you. You know what I'm saying?
It's in me. I mean, I'm telling you, if you draw my blood, it gotta say
fashion.
And I love it. And it's so funny because people always would say, you need to be a stylist. Now that's what I started with because the hustle was like, but babe, I'm not gonna lie to you, my bro. Lord Jesus, I was so tired of people's opinions. They hire you. I don't like this. Girl, you don't know how to dress. I'm the professional head. I have the expertise. Let me do this, okay? Yeah. So then it went from Red Carpet Boutique to That's How I Met Princess and got on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay. And then when I got to Real Housewives of Atlanta, I was like, yes, this is going to be fun. I'm going to meet with the girls. And we're going to sit on this couch and we're going to go over lines. And I'm like, oh shit, this shit is real. There's no lines. We really don't like each other. And we're being messy and we're arguing and fussing. And oh my God. But at the time when it took a couple of years because at first, of course, I was on that arguing and fussing and being a fool because I was new to it. I didn't know. Right. I went in blind. I was like, let's use this platform for other things. Yes. And with me growing up, being raised in 5 different foster homes, I'm like, this is another passion I have. Yeah. I remember being the little girl who wanted love, attention, who wanted stability, who was embarrassed because I wasn't dressed cute. You know, I was dressed and had my little Jerry curl, my little pick on the side, my high waters on. I was tall and skinny little thing. And it was just to where I was like, okay, I'm going to just start something, glam it up. I said, because I like glam and my girls are going to come and be glamorous because I wasn't glamorous in my foster home days. Right. I wanted it. I saw it. And my mom used to get us the best little Goodwill clothes and cute bows. But in foster care, they weren't spending money on glamoring me up. So I told my manager, Ty and Justin, I'm like, hey, I got to do something with foster kids. And it's like, okay, we're going to make it happen. So it started as an initiative. Okay. I didn't know anything about, doing it as a foundation yet or 501, all that. So we did the initiative. I was spending out of pocket everything. I would like reach out to foster homes and reach out to group homes and get the girls. And I remember not going to 5-star meals. I'm like, know what? When I did get money, I'm like, oh shit, now which one is salad fork? And you eat from the inside out. I'm like, let me teach these girls these things. Let me teach these girls how to get size for a bra. I took them to Neiman Marcus. They did bra sizings. I called down a banker from, I think it was Bank of America, had to teach them about credit because credit is so important. So important. And that's something as adults now we don't know. Credit is important. Right. Get it. Who was that song? Was it Biggie said the 5 commandments? That credit, you better get it. Get it. It's important because you literally can have not a dollar to your name or just waiting to get a check next month. If you have that credit, you got 30 days to pay it. Right. So just don't ever go over 30 days late. Though. Okay. Don't ever do that. Just give up. If you go over 30 days late, it's just over with for you. Okay. So it's just really, it was important for me to start doing something that I love. And it's something that's not rehearsed. It's something that's not, oh, you got to say this. It's something that I'm just passionate about.
And I love that because I think a lot of times, what I'm seeing with your story, everything that is leading you back to your real purpose, it was what you started with. It started with fashion. It started with you being in a foster care system, but you're using that to fuel your purpose. And Absolutely. I think a lot of entrepreneurs can really take from that, right? Because sometimes you're searching and searching and searching, but just look inside of yourself.
You have to, because there's so much there. And I'm a humble person. Even on the show, you may not see it as much. But where I'm at now, how I've evolved over the 10 years being on the show, it's like, you know what? Share my story. Tell people who I am, where I come from, because they only see the fashions and the label and me yelling and screaming on the show.
Right.
And another thing, they try and hold you to your past.
Yes.
So that's why it's so important to know what you're doing now in life and think about what you're doing, because it will hunt you and follow you.
Yes.
And every morning I wake up and I look at my nephews. I'm like, I just thank God for them, because a lot of decisions I make now in life, I think about them.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you can't do this now. You would have did this, but how would these boys look at it? Or they'll even say something. I have Michael Hill with me today because I want him to come with me more to see what Auntie does. Because I know he's reading blogs. Oh, she's this. Or she don't got a job. I don't brag about everything I do.
Okay.
I don't have to do. I know what I do from the heart, from passion. I know. I tell these boys, he has on a sweatshirt. Now look, let's come up with a t-shirt line. You need to make some money, because they're going to have a hustle too. Okay. You're going to be around me not having a hustle. And everybody going to make a check. We're not worried about if someone is praising you for it. I'm worried about, is it going to that bank account? If you're doing right by God and treating people right. That's all. That's where, and I learned that on my own until I met my foster grandmother, Ari, towards the end. So it's like, I had to survive by myself, growing up on the streets of St. Pete. I survived the streets. So I tell people all the time, baby, I'm very successful.
Right.
Because, if you look back of what I've went through, I'm not supposed to be sitting here on the couch with you, darling, this luxury studio. Not Marlo Hampton coming from jail, from a mother on drugs, from just all my hiccups in life. I'm not supposed to be sitting here with you today.
I love that.
So I am, though. So that's what, God
and you going to stay here, okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to stay here. It's up from here. It's just up.
It is up.
If you're over here on YouTube watching the podcast, listen, I need you to do me a favor. If you love me, do me this favor. Pull out your phone right now and go to Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts or anywhere that you actually listen to podcasts at, right? I need you to subscribe and leave a review. Listen, the way podcasts work is the streets don't know we doing good if it's not on the audio version. The YouTube version don't really count, okay? So go over there, leave us a review, and let us know how much you love the podcast. Now back to the episode.
But, one thing that I talk about with all of the things, because sometimes people feel like you have access to things and being a CEO becomes easier. Ooh. And I know that access doesn't always provide ease just because you have a platform, just because you're on TV. So tell us, when you think about being a CEO as ghetto, the most ghettoest thing that you've had to grow through or go through as a CEO, what would you say that is?
Oh, the most ghettoest thing, let me see. It may be not launching my archive, Lord. No, it hasn't been archived yet. I am a little ghetto there too, because I pick and choose who I want to rent my clothes out to. I'll tell you about that. But it would have really been red carpet days. Me not having $1, dodging them people when they call for their money. Because it was, you had, when they finally did, some vendors did go ahead and give us pieces and you had to pay within 30. It's like, oh Lord, we ain't sold the jeans yet. We ain't sold all that. We don't have them, but we had to pay the rent here that we really couldn't afford. Getting that building, knowing I ain't have the money to do it. Just surviving and hustling and figuring it out. And another ghetto thing we used to always do, Lord Jesus, we'll pull down the gate until I be right back. I'll be back in an hour. This is ghetto. Sitting in the back, the rent to go get my nails done. People are calling. The mall finding us. I remember one day, and this is the hustle in this ghetto too, because we're in the mall. A lady wanted something. I had just saw it at another store. Girl, I went to the store, I bought it, took the tag off, and told the lady it was in the back. I hit the back door. So it's just, you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do.
But ghetto going to make that money, and ghetto is going to make you appreciate the hustle and just what you've been through.
And I think that, I love that you told this story, because a lot of times people nowadays, because we got social media, when you first started, this social media wasn't popping like this now. And so everybody's comparing themselves to other people. They're year 10.
It was our customer service, and it was your smarts and having the hustle, the mentality. Because we definitely didn't have the social media. It's so easy now for this generation and for us now too, but it's new to me still. Because it's a lot. I'm like, oh, do I want to post that? And it's like, that's the new day in the world. You got to post everything. That's how we're sitting here not having a podcast. Nobody would think about a podcast back in those days. Like, what is that? So then too, just to get back into a couple, it was, so Glam It Up. I remember one day, your studio, now your podcast reminds me another day, much as I love fashion, I'm spending and buying everything, girl. I mean, good Lord, I love it. So as money increased, I went to buy more higher end pieces. But one thing about my pieces, people can think sometimes, oh, that's all she do. Talk about clothes and buy clothes, but my clothes are investment pieces. I bought a Louis Vuitton denim Supreme jacket for $2,000. You Google it now, it's worth $10,000.
Wow.
I buy a little mini Kelly. I just bought the mini Kelly from Hermes. I paid $13,000 for it. You Google it right now, it's $30,000. And that was as soon as I walked out the door, it's $30,000. So
that's like strategy though.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it's so funny because fashion is like, I guess, such a tangible thing. You think, oh, she's just a pretty girl. But for you to think like that takes strategy. That takes grit. That takes grind. Yeah.
And how does it make sense?
Right.
Because I hear people all the time, they're always saying, oh, and she just, baby, these clothes I've taught my nephews even know about the value of a Birkin bag or a Kelly bag and what to buy, and don't get everything that's so trendy. Get things that you know you're going to have to read up on who they're saying, what's coming out, what's hard to get, 1 of 10. 10, those are the pieces you want to invest in because it's something I love to do. Right. So with me making money from it, I want to be around these things that I love and that I see, and I know you're not going to be able to get 10 different stores and everywhere. Right. I just bought a big, huge Louis Vuitton pouch, and I want to say that was like $3,000. That thing is going now for like $6,000, I think. Oh my goodness. It's rare. It's not coming back again. Right. It's done after it's gone. So that's how I came up with La Archive. Yes. I was like,
tell us about this.
Oh, La Archive, this is my new baby. And I may be real ghetto with La Archive too, to be honest. I'm not ghetto with it. So when we started the archive in LA, when you go out there, they have a lot of showrooms. Yeah. And I would always see people pulling clothes and renting clothes from the showrooms out there. And I'm like, we don't really have that in Atlanta. We have one here, the Ivy. She's another Black-owned business. Check her out as well. Spread the love. That's the only way you're going to win. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start a archive where you can rent clothes out. And everybody looking at it, girl, what are you talking about? Who going to rent your stuff? I'm like, who wouldn't want to rent a $13,000 bag that's worth $30,000? Right. And Atlanta has the money. And we have a lot of money here and talent here and TV shows here. But my thing is, I just want to keep it in the entertainment business. Right. Okay. Like I just did a deal with Netflix.
Okay, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. I'm waiting on the show to come out so you can see it. But they came in, when I tell you, they were not ghetto. Yeah. They was real professional.
Oh, we love a good corporate chick.
Oh, it was very corporate. Netflix, come on back.
Come back, please.
They were very professional. What I loved working with them, what I loved about working with them. They came in, every single thing. I sent them over an email, like a catalog of everything that I had. Okay. And they picked everything they wanted. They came in, they looked at it and evaluated it and picked it out. And the check was in the mail and they left out with everything. And they returned everything as the way they received it.
We love it.
So it's going to be on a movie. A lot of things in the closet when the movie comes out is from the archive. Oh, wow. So I'm excited. Suitcases, necklaces, earrings. That's a lot of things in this movie in the closet that's from the archive.
I love that because they bought all this stuff just to prop it up.
I know, just to prop it up, baby. And see, listen, when I first started, I was written out to just, if somebody called, I'm like, you late returning my stuff ain't coming back, right? Let me just keep my stuff in the entertainment business, red carpets, editorial. So, it's days, we'll go back and forth, my team, like, Marlo, you're missing money. Some money you just got to miss. Because I truly love my things. I go shop at La Archive. Yes. I go and I'm like, okay, I want these earrings, or let me go see what La Archive got, or what am I going to put on? Right. So it's important to me, and I love it because I know the worth. And I really want other people to rent from me who understands the value of it. Absolutely. And if they don't, at least let it go on the TV shows, editorial, with other stylists who understands it. So for the people who are mad at me that I don't rent to them, I don't return the emails because I am looking on that part. It's because just stop emailing me. I just really want people in the entertainment business. No harm, but I really value my items. I love them. And I just don't want you in the club smoking hookahs and getting in fights and getting drunk with a $30,000 gown on. I'm sorry. It's just, the archive is not for you.
Yeah. And and you got to understand your audience. You understand who this business is
and
for.
I don't want to start renting it to anyone because then I'm going to go down. My value it's not going to be where I want it to be. So I'd rather move strong and slow and steady instead of just moving fast. And it's just, it's not for everybody. I won't even appreciate the things if I rent myself out to everybody.
Yeah. I love it. Like, I'm just not for everybody.
It's not. And I just rapped with Tammy Roman. I love Tammy Roman on Unfaithful. So they hired me for wardrobe. So the archive, we styled her for about 24 episodes. It was like 100 and something looks. So it's a lot of things I'm doing. I'm booked and busy.
Listen, y'all better stop playing with Marlo.
But I mean, and I'm going to start turning it up on y'all a little. I'm going to start showing it more. And then to me, it's so funny though, because I've been on the show for 10 years. Now let's keep in mind, I probably wasn't getting paid the first 2 years, but if not, but definitely wasn't on that for free. So people just kill me when they're like, well, what does she do? Where did she get her money from? Baby, I'm a hustler, baby. Right. And I definitely have been getting a check. And when I go and I'm hosting at clubs, if I walk in a room, I'm getting paid for that by the hour. Okay.
Period. And so how do you feel like has the show had a positive impact on your career, or do you feel like it was some negative things that happened with people not really understanding who Marlo truly is?
The show definitely has had negative and positive, but a lot of negative because people love to run with the negative. Think about it. Our show is #1 rated because it's negative, and we have drama, and we have Black sisters on there fussing and fighting with each other. People love the drama. They love the negativity. Come on, let's be honest. You do love it. I'll see the comments are like, oh, we need more positive. Well, how are we still #1? I mean, obviously some y'all liking about this negativity. So the way I look at it with the hustle mentality I have, my job may not be for you. It works for me though. It works for me. Do I want better? Do I want to show more positivity? Absolutely. And that's why I have Glam It Up. And that's why now I do Foster Care Fridays. And that's why I always give back. And I do Marlo's Closet. And I also had started years ago, about 6 or 7 years ago, I was talking to my manager, Justin. I was like, hey, I want to give tips. People are always in my comments asking me, what should I wear? Give us fashion tips. I'm like, you know what?
Help the streets.
Look, I'm helping the streets, baby. And guess what I did? I said, you know what? We're going to pre-sale some tickets. Let's see how that works. And when the tickets sold, I'm like, oh, we're going to take this on a multi-tour.
Come on,
child, we went to Houston. We went to New York. I did it right here in Atlanta. So we went to where I literally just met and greet with people, and I gave them fashion tips.
I love
And I mean, it was showing them like, hey, you can do this Chanel, but you also can go and get this black jacket at Forever 21 or Zara. So it's just, I'm working. I'm passionate about what I do. I'm not a bragger on it. You see it. And I mean, people, like you said earlier about the show, people take the negative with me and they run with that and they try and paint this bad picture. Either I dated one white man, one.
Because the show had you thinking you had white men lined up.
Girl, I'm like, I dated one white man in my life. And these people to my white men and white men, one. One. But people run with whatever scenario they want of you because they don't want to get to know you. And that's why when you reached out, I'm like, I have to go there because at least you really want to get to know who Marlo is. You weren't intimidated. You weren't judging me. You're like, let me find out, is this really true, Marlo? What's really going on? And I appreciate that as a Black woman.
I love it. And switching gears a little bit, I know that you are taking care of your nephews, right? Ooh. You're a Monty.
I am a full-time Monty, baby.
I love it. So I talk about things that you go through as a CEO. Like you got to go through therapy, you got to go through highs and lows. I know you're in life coaching now. And a lot of times people don't talk about the behind the scenes of being strong as a CEO and grief as a CEO, right? How did you handle some of the things that you were going through with this transition with your nephews, the different things that you've been through lately to still stay strong and build this business and be on reality TV? Because that's the thing.
It's a lot. Child, sometimes I'd be like, no, I asked God, I think last. I'm like, God, am I really this strong?
Yeah.
Am I really, you really doing this to me?
Right. I am not trying to be as strong as soldier.
Like, golly, I don't got to be Superwoman. I do not. I think I'm a little weak. I think you're putting a little too much on me. No, but it was so funny because I had that moment. I think I even said it to Michael too. I'm like, Lord, I don't know. God tested your auntie over here. Your auntie. I don't know if I'm this strong. Yeah. But one thing I feel, you got 15 minutes to cry. And after that, we got to figure this shit out. Yes. You got to figure it out. And especially when I have young kings I'm raising who look up to me. So I have to come in as dad, auntie. Sometimes I'm the auntie, and then I'm the mom, and then I'm the cousin, I'm the friend. I have a lot of different roles to play in their life as well, because at first I came off like, okay, you have to be strict and you have to be this. Not with this day and age children. You can't be so strict. You have to have respect. You have to talk to them and listen to them. And that's something I wasn't doing because me being raised, my mom ain't sitting there. I'm asked what I want to eat or how do you feel about this? Sit your ass down. This is what I said. Don't open my damn door. Da 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 da. So now I'm with Michael like, well, Michael, do you understand where I'm coming from? Yeah. What the hell? I wasn't raised like this.
I'm like, I feel weak. Like, what is
happening? Do you want to eat? One doesn't eat meat. The other one does. Yeah. So we need to get the chef. Can you cook? No. I'm like, oh my God. And you battle yourself because you don't know, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? But they are different now from when we were being raised. Yeah, so you do have to, but I put my firmness there a little bit, but I'm still the friend too. And I know they say you shouldn't be a friend, but I feel I want them to know this is a safe place and come to me without me judging you. Because at first I was very judgmental. And I mean, that's because, hey, when we was raised, if you did something wrong, oh girl, you did something, boy, you did something. You know, people just call out. That's all I knew. Yeah. So now it's like, golly, you don't like that when you was being raised. So maybe don't do it to them. Right. But the best thing that could have ever happened for us was a life coach. A life coach. And right now I'm trying to find a therapist because every therapist I find, child, I end up leaving or quitting or thinking they don't understand. So maybe I need a little more. Any good therapist, y'all send me an email that can relate because I keep running from the therapist. I can't run from the life coach. I love Sharon Green. When I tell you she's amazing, I love she'll get me right on together. We'll be in there arguing and fussing and she'll be like, look here, girl. So I love her because it's a safe place. She's proven to be a safe place for me to vent because I usually don't open up because like you said, I always got to be tough. Yeah. And even on the show, I come off so tough and girl, I'd be behind the counters crying. And I'm like, okay, come on. And what you said, this is your mom and your dad. You know, but that's just a defense mechanism that we've used and that I use. And I know that's what I've used because it's like, you're not going to hurt me. I've been hurt a lot in my life. And I feel sometimes you don't even deserve my friendship because my friendship is really amazing. When I really mess with you, I mess with you. And I'm a big giver. Yeah. I like to give. I want to see you win. And it's not even always about me bragging and telling what I do for you or what you do. It's just, I need to feel at home with you if you call yourself my family. Yeah. And it's big because coming from foster care, I never felt it was home. Coming over here on this couch, I feel comfortable. And I mean, this is my first time here, but it's making me feel home. Yeah. And some friends, I don't go to, some people who are saying they're my friends to this day, I don't feel comfortable when I go to their home. I don't feel that it's a safe place. Yeah. I don't feel that I'm comfortable there and I can just sit on the couch and ball up and feel at home. And to me, at 47, I've realized I want to be places where I really feel welcome and wanted. And if I can't, I don't want to be there. It's just as easy as that. I don't want to be there.
I love that because I think a lot of times I say that all the time. I'm like, I just don't feel safe with you. Yeah. And I realized that, you know, with my childhood trauma, my daddy wasn't there like that. And I'm like, I want a place that feels safe. Yeah. You know, like I want a place that feels safe and I want people around me that feel I could be 100% myself. If I want to be crazy, I can be crazy. If I want to be, I can be whatever I want to be. And I think that that's good. But I think I love that. Are you showing your more emotional side this season or are you putting that wall up?
You know what? You're seeing a lot. What you are seeing a little more. Now you seeing me get people together too now.
Period. Because Marlo is
seeing emotion. You are seeing a more emotional side as well. You're seeing me with my life coach. I love that. You get to see me dating. I know, right? It's not a old white man. I mean, I didn't even understand. I'm like, well, it should have been a black old man. I'm like, they was making such a big deal about it. I'm like, I like an older man. So I like old Victor Newman. You know, an older, distinguished gentleman. Period. But I love my black men. Don't get that twisted as well. And I'm raising two, so I definitely got to love them. Yes. But so you'll see me dating more. You would definitely see more at home with me. You definitely see the old Marlo too come out a little bit. You'll see the new Marlo. You'll see the devil. You'll see that devil trying to get in me. I got to pull out. And you'll just see me. Yeah. And it's like, I can't be what everyone wants me to be. I can be me though.
I love that.
And that's what you're going to always see. Because I feel a lot of people, they're not authentic to who they are. Yeah. And they don't know when the cameras are up. the cameras are down, girl. You can just be who you are.
Yes.
Who really are you? Because
Yeah.
I just feel a lot of people act when cameras are up. And I'm not good at acting. You're going to see it on my face. Yes, it's tiring. It's tiring.
It's tiring. And look, it take you talking about today drained me.
Today drained me. Oh, girl.
Yeah, that's my favorite. I be like, y'all, I can't take it.
Today drained me. Okay.
Yes. So listen, y'all, this has been a really good interview.
It has.
So listen, tell us before we go, what has been some of the best advice that you have received as a CEO?
Ooh, the best advice. I would say the best advice, I'm going to give you a couple of things that I think are important. But one thing is customer service. People are always going to remember how you made them feel.
Yes.
And I feel it's so important whenever I go somewhere, whatever business you're in, just be great. Be great with customer service. I ain't saying be a fool. Now, don't be a damn fool and let people come over and get over on you. But treat people well. Don't judge by what they have on, what they're wearing. Because in Atlanta, I've realized it's about circles. She's over here. She's girl, I don't care about your circle, who you wear. I don't want anything from you. If it's something that you know I have a talent in, refer people. If I know that someone needs to come on this podcast, I'm going to hit you up and say, girl, she's a great. We have to spread the love. We have to want to see each other truly win, and not because you like me or I like you. Girl, if you know that I can dress, refer me to some customers. You know, say, hey, y'all need to reach out to Marlo. That girl can really dress. I don't care what y'all say about it, but she can dress. I don't care what you say. She can sing or she can dance or whatever. So I feel customer service is really important. I feel learn your craft. Really learn whatever it is. Watch other people. See what they're doing and what makes you better. What makes your podcast so amazing. And I feel that you definitely have to get someone to read over things, like when you're signing stuff. Very important. Contracts. Get a lawyer. If not, get a friend that's really smart. Go to college with somebody going to law or something and see if you can get them to read over it. But just know what you're doing. I mean, as in learning it. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid, because you're going to make a lot. You're going to have a lot of failures. But just get your ass back up and do what you got to do. And don't be afraid to walk in rooms that supposedly you don't belong. Because guess what? I go in a lot of those rooms every day. If I'm uncomfortable, if I'm going in that room. Because I don't want to be the smartest one in the room. If I'm the smartest one in the room, I'm in the wrong room. Because I'm trying to learn something every day. And I want to be around people who want to teach me, who want to see me excel and do good.
Yes, I love that. And I love, like you said in your story, that you just had faith and you just started. Because red carpet walked. So like archive could run.
Okay, that part. Talk to me. It sure did.
Yes, I love it, y'all. I hope, did you enjoy this interview?
I really did. The energy was good. It's positive, and I'm just glad that you really wanted to get to know more about Marlo.
Yes, listen, y'all stay tuned. We're holding you accountable, Marlo. We want to see more about the business, more about the things you're doing in the foster care system. Like, we want to get to know Marlo.
Right. Well, I promise that I'm going to deliver that more. I'm going to be more open with y'all, let you see when I have my bad days. And just do it. Because really, low key, I'm a private person. It was like, I'll do what's on the show and I'll see it and I'll hate it. Oh, girl, I'll look back someday. I'm like, oh my God, they got me looking crazy. And it does feel good. Just showing, show people everything. My Foster Care Fridays, definitely tuning it out on Fridays. I just go live with Erica Thomas on that. And it's similar to this. It's just as passionate. We're just spreading awareness. We're talking about our stories. We're talking about other women and men, whoever, are successful and came from the foster care system, and they never want to talk about it. Like, it's something that people don't spread awareness. I'm like, why are you ashamed of it? There's other kids that are watching that are in foster care. We want to let them know there's hope for you too. Just because you're in foster care don't mean you can't be great. The next Michelle Obama, the next Marlo Hampton. You're the next year. So it's just, but I'm definitely gonna, definitely hold me accountable, and I'm going to deliver.
Yes, y'all. This is a good episode of the Ghetto CEO Podcast. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. Go leave a review. Go tell a friend. We cannot wait for you to keep tuning into these episodes, because we keep finding CEOs that's willing to give us the transparent truth behind being a CEO. So I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye, y'all.
Invoice in, that ain't ghetto. Money spin, oh, that's ghetto.